All right, we got another one from Big Craig. It's another one, the laziest stars ever on my 600-pound life.
From using puppy training pads to go to the bathroom in her bed to boasting about being dragged through
Puppy pads is kind of crazy. Off rip.
kitchen by paramedics claiming she was a princess. Penny Cigar is undoubtedly the laziest star ever on my 600-pound life, and once you see the way she acts, you will 100% agree with me. To understand how Penny became the laziest 600-pound life star in the history of the show, we need to go back to her childhood, which may give us some clues as to where it all went wrong.
This is my bed. This is my bathroom. This is my dinner table.
Penny has always
Come on, what else could it be? You can't even move.
had an addiction to food. From an early age, she was always the heaviest in her class, resorting to food whenever she felt the slightest bit of stress or discomfort. Having to wear plus-size clothing as a child, Penny continues to gain 20 to 30 pounds a year throughout school, eventually weighing over 300 pounds by the time she was only 22 years old. Childhood
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like being in school kind of like was a negative and then a positive because like you got school lunch and then my parents would always like cook when I get home sometimes or sometimes like say like I don't want the school lunch, so it's like I didn't eat that whole day, so that would actually benefit me because I was like over 200 by the time I was like 6th 7th grade already. So
obesity is an issue seen time and time again on the show.
but if that school lunch good though.
Almost every star has had an unfortunate backstory of growing up without learning how to eat healthy or make nutritious meals. It's not surprising then that Penny has followed the same path too. Penny also experienced a great deal of abuse as a child. Her sisters recount that Penny was physically abused by her alcoholic father, and she often took the brunt of the abuse so that she spared her sisters because she was the oldest. Penny would resort to eating as a coping mechanism, one that would eventually become so dangerous it risked taking her life. Penny does have a partner named Edgar, who currently acts as her personal servant, but it wasn't always like that. Their relationship
You ever notice that these big people always got like a spot? They always got like a husband or wife. They never single, never.
began like any other, a romantic few months that led to purchasing their first home together. Despite weighing over 400 pounds, Edgar didn't seem to mind, and the couple were able to travel and visit places like any other. Things changed though when Penny got pregnant. She gained 600 pounds throughout her pregnancy.
Ooh, 600.
After the birth of her son, the weight just didn't disappear. In the years since, Penny continued to eat herself to immobility, resulting
A lot of people say that, but that's just an excuse, like the weight didn't disappear or whatever. No, your eating habits never changed. So that's why it never disappeared.
her being bedbound. Edgar has become her full-time carer, no longer able to work as he is required around the clock to help her relieve herself, eat and maintain good hygiene. They're also struggling financially, being supported only by Penny's disability allowance, leaving them living paycheck to paycheck. Edgar has stated that he would love to find a job for himself, but Penny's condition makes it impossible to do so. Arguably the most frustrating situation in Penny's predicament is the fact that she has a young son called
I always wonder where they get the money from.
Given Penny is immobile and confined to the four posts of her bed, she can only attend to her child when he comes within her bubble, the radius between her outstretched arms. If he refuses to come to her, she won't be able to help him at all. If you thought this was sad for Liam, his life would only go downhill from here, as Penny's manipulation tactics only get more and more advanced. It's difficult to understand why Penny won't change her situation for the good of her son and her wider family, especially her husband Edgar. Most significantly, Edgar takes care of every aspect of their son's life, often having to record these classes so Penny can watch them from home. Liam's other family members also play a key role in his care, all while Penny festers in her bed. Penny's family were ecstatic to learn that she was pregnant, hoping that this would finally be a turning point in Penny's life where she would have someone to motivate her, but instead, the opposite happened.
She put little homie to work ASAP. Like, nah, you got stuff to do around here, buddy.
Penny got worse.
That's sad though. I'm not even gonna lie.
Weight gain spiraled out of control, and there's no doubt that Penny loves Liam, but how far can that care extend from her hospital bed? As we learn more about Penny's situation, we hear little from the star herself of her motivation to change. Instead, it's Penny's family members, her husband and sisters, who provide their accounts of the difficulty in helping Penny with her situation. They explain the stress her position puts on them and their anxiety surrounding Liam, and how this will affect his development. With many 600-pound life stars, their desire for change is present immediately, often appearing emotional as they face their own internal battles of allowing their obesity to spiral to a life-threatening extent. With Penny, however, we don't see any of this. Instead, she seems entirely content with her position, perhaps even enjoying it. It's Penny's family who detail their desire
For these situations, who do we even blame for that situation? Because, like, someone's buying her the food. I understand that she's an adult and all that, but it's just like someone can't just put their their foot down and just be like, "Yo, you're not gonna eat anything unless like you eat what we give you." I don't know. Like, you keep giving her like whatever she's craving and stuff. Like, she's never gonna lose weight.
change, largely for the better of Liam. Some viewers of the show have speculated that her family forced her to appear on the show, fearing that it was the only way to get her to lose weight, especially as the
Yeah, so
is
it's like the family want to help, but maybe they actually just don't know how.
so much financially. Penny's attitude reinforces this, as she shows little to no effort in wanting to change, as we will see. Penny makes the 21-hour car journey from Maryland to Houston, getting comfortable across the entire length of the car.
Like, bro, how do you feel comfortable traveling like that? Is that not crazy?
And the back seats. It takes an entire team to transport Penny just from the house to the minibus waiting outside. As Penny can't walk, she's unable to get out of the car until she makes it to Houston. On the road, Edgar passes through many drive-thrus, ordering a selection of chicken nuggets, burgers, and fries.
You see what I'm talking about? This is exactly what I'm talking about, though. Like, why are you guys still getting that? Just skip that.
His overweight wife. It seems like the weight loss won't start until she reaches the doors of Dr. Now's office. Upon arrival, Dr. Now examines Penny to determine her weight and the extent of the damage it has caused to her body. She weighs in at 530 pounds, and Dr. Now outlines how severe her BMI is. Penny's BMI is over double that of a super morbidly obese person. Combined with her small stature, Penny has one of the most dangerous BMI in the history of the show. Dr. Now also examines Penny physically, noticing
Wow.
oxygen nasal cannula that she wears 24 hours a day. Removing them, Penny's oxygen levels are healthy, but she explains that after 20 minutes of not wearing it, her lips and fingers will turn blue. Penny protests.
Oh, no, that's not good. You got it bad. You got it bad. Like, I don't know. You're dealing with all these health complications and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I understand. Like, I feel like hearing that surgery, they think it's like a quick change. They could just get it done like that. But it's like you still have to put in all the work. Like, you're killing yourself.
She needs the oxygen, with Dr. Now allowing her to continue using it. However, he notes that he believes the device is unnecessary and observes that Penny is instead using the oxygen to preserve her victim mentality, an all too common trope among the show's stars. Penny's program begins by the book, a 1-month diet to show she's determined to lose the weight and hopefully qualify for the weight loss surgery. In hospital, where her food is provided and unhealthy snacks are forbidden, it should be easy for Penny to drop the 25 to 50 pounds needed. With a somewhat positive attitude, Penny does indeed drop the 40 pounds needed to qualify for the weight loss surgery after just a month of dieting. After the surgery, it's incredibly important for the patient to start walking to encourage blood flow.
Yeah, imagine going through all that to get the surgery, get right, and then you mess it up again. That's what I'm saying. I don't think you should be doing these type of surgeries without your mindset being all right, because then it makes absolutely no sense, because then you just relapse. Food is like a drug to these people at this point.
and oxygenate the body. Not only is it also important for exercising to aid additional weight loss, but it also encourages the patient to ease back into normal life after years of being bedridden. Penny, on the other hand, completely rejects this and refuses to even stand up from her bed. While Penny remains in hospital, Edgar relocates to Houston to be closer to the hospital, renting a small one-bedroom apartment with his son Liam. They share a bunk bed in the bare, unfurnished apartment, counting down the days when Penny can return home to them. Penny's new 1,200 calorie diet causes some issues as she protests the small amount and threatens to start ordering fast food unless it can be increased. Her
Yo.
normal soft-spoken voice changes as she becomes aggressive, speaking rudely to her nurses and to
Yeah, that's when the real side gonna show up. That's probably what the family couldn't handle when she gets like this. This is probably where the family starts being like, you know what, whatever, just let her get whatever she's asking for, whatever the case may be. When you're out of that facility, out of your own home, and then you have other people taking care of you that actually are going to help you, it's gonna be hard. But I think she managed to sneak some food in, so.
their advice. It's difficult to watch Penny's motivation decline when her family struggles at home. As weeks pass, Doctor now becomes concerned as Penny's weight remains stagnant, and the only thing declining is her attitude. He begins to suspect that Penny is somehow having snacks sneaked in, as there is no logical reason for Penny not to lose weight, as she has had the weight loss surgery and should be sticking to her diet. Doctor now confronts Penny, demanding to know how many times she is eating, what she is eating, and if she can even finish her meals. After weight loss surgery, it's common for patients to struggle to eat, as their body is adjusting to their smaller stomach.
Yeah. Yep.
Some patients are even prone to vomiting until they become accustomed to eating again. All of this suggests that Penny is doing something different, straying away from
Your freaking stomach intestines gets way smaller. I remember I used to be really big. Even this sweater I have on right now is kind of one of my old big sweaters and stuff like that. But one thing I realized is just that my gut takes a little bit less more food now because I've like got my mind shit straight and I've stayed on like somewhat of a steady diet. But it's really about the mind control, really, with me, because I'm like really in between like this era of where I'm like trying to go back up because I lost a lot of weight. I kind of got carried away, and like when you just like you're looking at yourself and you just get too carried away, you can also like lose amount of weight to the point where it's also not even healthy for you. So I had to really balance it out and know how to like stay at the place where I want to stay at. You know what I mean? So
diet, which is why Doctor now doesn't believe a word coming out of her mouth, as she lies about not being able to eat more than 5 or 6 bites of food. The most dangerous situation that Penny is in is that her psychological state hasn't changed at all. In fact, it's gotten worse. She's in complete denial about losing weight, arguing with Doctor now that she feels lighter and the scales must be wrong. Scales don't lie, but Penny does. Losing weight after weight loss surgery should be easy. The reduced stomach size limits cravings, as well as making the patient feel fuller for longer.
yeah, I think I might just end it off there. You guys can finish watching this if you guys want to. It's by the big create. But the thing is about the weight loss surgery and losing weight is just that depending on how you do it or how you're acting, how I think about it, before you've had that weight loss surgery, if you didn't get your mindset right, you didn't work out, you didn't start developing like a eating plan or a schedule where you're in a routine doing something, the weight loss surgery is completely dumb. It makes no sense to have or even do because you're going to relapse. So the people that are like fewer contestants, I don't even know if this show still exists, but they probably do, obviously. But yeah, that's just one of the main things because there's people who actually like done it and got it done the right way, got their mindsets done correctly, got the weight loss surgery, lost the weight. There's people who even did it without the weight loss surgery. Those are the people I respect a little bit more because that I know that your mindset is very, very strong. So yeah, my cat keeps yelling at me to feed him, so I'm gonna just leave it right there at this at this video.